TBTL.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Hey Dummies. I'm Andrew, I'll be your dummy today. I am joining you today from my kitchen where it is a nice cool 152 degrees in here. But don't worry about me, I'm well hydrated. I have my water bottle right here. My one problem here with this water bottle is I thought I was going to be a real smart cookie last night and I put it in the freezer so that it'd be nice and cold for me. The problem is it is 100% frozen through right now because I forgot that I left it in the freezer overnight. So this isn't super helpful to me, but it does feel good on the skin. We got a really interesting question. Maybe, and again, it's not a contest, but this might be my favorite Hey Dummies question ever sent in. This is from listener Kelsey, who says, in a recent episode, you were chatting about restaurant takeout items like soy sauce, napkins, and wooden chopsticks, and it got me thinking about my favorite restaurant freebies. If you could have a drawer full of one restaurant giveaway, what would it be? I've got to go with the Andes mints from the Olive Garden. That is a great pick. Those little chocolate mints, and I think you can even see a tiny little layer of green in between the brown chocolate. Those things are amazing. I haven't had one in a really long time. I feel like this question has, first of all, the Andes mints answer is a really good answer. I also feel like out there, people are going to come up with really good answers themselves. I almost feel like I'm not up to the challenge of this wonderful question. So if any other listeners have good answers to this one, let me know. I think chopsticks is a good one. For a while there, especially during the pandemic, I was getting tons and tons of takeout pho and other various kinds of Asian soups and Asian takeout. And so I started collecting a whole bunch of little mini packs of sriracha sauce, the little red hot sauce. And I remember, again, this is very, very pandemic behavior. I remember having a whole drawer full of them and soy sauce, and I decided I was going to consolidate them because I never used the little packages. I always just go to the refrigerator and grab the bottle of sriracha. So during the pandemic, just like during the height of just being at home and having nothing to do and just watching whatever the latest Netflix docu-series is. I'm looking at you, Tiger King, or what have you. I decided I was going to take my whole drawer full of sriracha sauces and I was going to empty them all into an old sriracha bottle that I had just finished and cleaned out. And as I was doing it, I realized sriracha is supposed to be red, but all of the stuff that I'm draining out of these packages into the jar or into the bottle was a brownish color. And I was like, ew, I am not going to eat this. And also, now I usually do not eat the sriracha that comes in packages. I'm sure it's fine, but there was just something about seeing how brown it looked when it was all combined into a bottle together that I was like, I can do better than this. Anyway, I would really love to take a drink from my water right now, but it is just solid. I mean, just solid. Okay, so I have been thinking about this question though, Kelsey, and I want an answer that is fitting, that is befitting of the question. The best I can come up with is a very specific kind of takeout food container that you can use over and over again. Now, this was another problem during the pandemic. I was bringing home so much soup for lunches and dinners that I ended up with way too many of these guys. Usually when you order a takeout pho around here, you get broth that is filled up to here, and then the noodles and the meat and all the other accoutrements are like in a separate takeout container that you throw away. But these soup containers can be very handy. There was a time that I had probably, 50 of these things. Luckily, the collection has been dwindled. When I moved, I think I had to recycle a bunch of them, but also we've been using them for painting projects and all kinds of stuff. But these things come in various sizes. So yes, this is one of my favorite things that you get when you get takeout food because it's so reusable. But let's go through the sizes. So I used to have way too many of these. Now I just have just the right amount. But then you have, which is much more common for me these days, this size, which is about, I think, half of that one. Now, I have too many of these now because I continue to get about this much soup about once a week when I go to my favorite teriyaki place. I'll usually get like an order of teriyaki or fried rice or something, but I always order it with a small wonton soup, and it comes in this. And that is why I have exactly this many of these things. Again, these will come in handy for painting projects, but I certainly have a lot of them, and they're starting to clog up. So to recap, we have this, we have these, then you have the ones that are in between those sizes, these guys. They're not quite a large, they're not quite a small, you might call them a medium. So I'll add that to this as well. Where do these go? These go here, then like that. This is my stack. Can you see it? Okay. Now, I love all of those, but this is something that I was talking about with my friend Katie recently. The true treasure of the takeout soup container is the small guy. I've only got 2 of these things in my life. Actually, I believe I have 3. I know for a fact that I have 3, and that one of them is in there in the refrigerator right now, holding some sort of I don't know, part of a recipe that Genevieve was making. But I know that I have 3 of these because I am super possessive and protective of these. The other day we were hanging out at a friend's house in their backyard. My friend Katie brought her dog, Poppy, and I noticed that Poppy was drinking water out of one of these, and I said, oh, those are the good size soup container. And Katie was like, yes, I used to have a bunch of them, and now I'm down to 1, and this is my last one, and I need to make sure not to leave it here because these things are like gold. And I agreed with her. Later that night she texted me and she said, I forgot it at our friend's house. I lost my container. And then I believe she went back the next week to get it. So I guess the long drawn out answer to your question, Kelsey, is this size takeout food container. Why is this size the most useful? Because I feel like I'm much to Genevieve's chagrin. When we have leftover food, it always starts off in like, I always want the food to match, the volume of the food should match the container it's in. One thing I don't like is when you have a whole bunch of extra space in a container because it's just taking up refrigerator space. Here, I have an example of this, in fact, I think. I noticed this earlier today, and I think most of you would think that this is totally normal, and I'm sure it is, but this is some sort, I don't even know what's in here. This is, I believe, a recipe that Genevieve made recently, and at one point, I'm sure the food level was up to here, but now it's down to here. Now, I would never abide by this. I would transfer this into here and then wash this one. So often, if I've made dinner, or especially like a big feast like Thanksgiving or something, everything starts in bigger containers, and then throughout the week I'm constantly transferring them into smaller and smaller containers to save refrigerator space. In fact, maybe I'll just transfer this into one of these right now, which will just leave me with 1 extra. Okay, I thought that was going to be a better video, but you know what? It's an honest video, and that's what's important. Quality is only second to honesty in my book. But anyway, really great question, and I would love to hear if other people have better answers to this question too. Again, the Andes Candies is a great one. I do think wooden chopsticks, the good kind that Luke was talking about on the show, are also a good get. I'll mention, I asked Genevieve if she had an opinion, and she said specifically the, I believe it's honey mustard that you get at Chick-fil-A. If she gets any extras of those, she'll keep them in the fridge until she can use them because she loves that condiment. I feel like as kids we really liked the barbecue sauce that was served in those McDonald's tubs. Anyway, please, if you have any questions for me, or if you'd like to answer Kelsey's question, email me, andrew@tbtl.net. That's andrew@tbtl.net, and put "Hey Dummies" in the subject line. All right, everybody, I'm going to go try to melt this down and drink it now. Talk to you later. Bye.